Hi everybody, Robin here, and welcome back to Toadstool Tarot. This is my first deck from Hay House publisher. I don't have any in my collection from them. It's also my first deck by Chris Ann, which surprises me because we all have our likes and dislikes, and there are several elements about this deck that I generally am not drawn to. First of all, I'm not a major fan of Chris Ann's other decks. I know she's quite popular, and I do like some of her cards, but on the whole, they have elements that don't appeal to me. I generally don't like photo collage decks, although I do have a few. I also tend not to like animal-oriented decks, and I'm not drawn to contemporary representations in decks. And this deck has elements of all three. And I have to say that if it had been presented in a bland palette, I might not be drawn to it yet. But the colors are so bright and pop, I was drawn right into it. Anyway, it comes in a really nice, hard, sturdy box with a number of graphic representations on every panel. It also comes with a substantial booklet that's about 156 pages long, something like that. 163 pages. Gives you a little bio of Chris Ann at the back. Some spreads and information about the deck. And for each of the cards, you have a heads description with key phrases, keywords. Tails description. I guess that means if you're using reversals, heads, tails. And then you have something a little bit more specific to the art represented in each card. Each card features an animal on, or I should say an animal head on a human body. And it's very much like sort of a 21st century version of J.J. Granville's artwork, which has been seen in other decks like the Metamorphosis du Jour, and I think there's one by Baba Studios, but I can't remember the name of it just now. Here's the inside of the box. Looks like my lighting's not good here. Sorry about the shadow. There is a little scan code in here. It says, come play. I'm not sure what that means. I assume that if you scan that with your phone, it will take you to some sort of program that has additional information or some sort of an app that you can make use of. The cardstock, these are the card backs. Quite handsome. Cardstock is substantial, thick. They're more or less matte. There's a slight sheen, but I wouldn't say they're laminated exactly. Some people are not going to like these because they don't like decks with anthropomorphized representations of animals on human bodies. But I actually do like that. I like to see figures in action in my cards. Now this one, it has two versions of the Fool. One came at the beginning and then one came at the end of the major arcana. The first one has a traditional representation of a dog here leaping off the cliff. And so I will choose not to use that one because it doesn't match the rest of the deck. Also, I'm curious for people who are fans of Chris Ann's other decks, which are very popular, like the Light Seers Tarot, whether they like this as well or don't like it, because it is very different. The things I like about this deck, it has a sense of humor, and it has nice, bright pop colors and great graphic representation. All the animals in it have fun expressions that are intriguing, and there are not a lot of elements on each card, but you get the idea of the RWS imagery. So here we have the Fool 2.0. The Magician. The High Priestess. You have a black and white feather mimicking the two pillars that we usually see in a High Priestess card. The Empress you have here with children and surrounded by plant life. I won't identify all the animal creatures in here. They are all identified in the book. And many of them seem to be chosen at random rather than specifically to the card. Well, here we have a walrus and the Emperor, which sort of works for me. The Hierophant, wasn't sure about this one. But I think because it's sort of a contemporary rendering, you still have the keys here, and you have them sitting on a radio. And these days we get our information and education from radio and television in terms of institutional sort of presentation, education, etc. The Lovers, looks like lovebirds. The Chariot. I really like the color scheme in this deck. Strength. This one kind of throws me. I don't know why. It seems to be a lamb or a goat, sheep, and on a strength card. And it looks like a black sheep. And so I'm not sure I equate a black sheep with the strength card. That might be more like the devil or something. So I'm not sure about that in terms of strength. That'll give me something to think about. The Hermit. Again, an unusual choice for the Hermit, I think. This deck also reminds me of, is it the Housewives Tarot, I believe, that has a sort of a campy fashion quality, the sort of retro fashion. Wheel of Fortune. Justice. The Hangman. Of course, we have a bat. And bats I usually find repulsive, but this one's kind of cute. Death. I think that's a vulture. Temperance. The Devil, and here we have a goat. And two little human figures in cages. Not sure about this one. I like, though, that even though we don't really see a tower, that we have this sort of lightning strike and what looks like tears in the card. It's kind of a nice touch. The star. The moon. This one relates very well to sort of the wild dog howling at the moon. I love this card, the sun. Nice colors. Ordinarily, I think I might be put off by what mostly seems like animal portraits, but there's enough elements in the cards to bring that symbolism in. Here we have Judgment. The World. Again, it seems to me like many or most of the cards seem random choices. I don't know why she might choose a fox for the world, but it doesn't matter because all the symbols are there, regardless of what animal is chosen. I think they still represent the cards very well. Now we're into the minor arcana. Here we have the Ace of Wands. Nice bright card. Two of Wands. I like here we have sort of a path or direction in mind, choice between the two wands. One has a key, one has a lock. These also have the suit symbols at the top and the names of the cards. And I like the nice little borders too, little ornamental borders. Three of Wands. Four. Five. Six. Seven. Eight. I love this Eight of Wands. Nine. 10. It's funny how expressive these cards are. Page of Wands. I think I'm going to have a lot of fun using this deck. Knight of Wands. I love this too. Queen of Wands. And King, who's got a lioness and a lion. You notice we still have the black cat on the Queen, along with the sunflower. Ace of Cups. I love the sort of octopus tentacle holding up the cup and the water kind of overflowing. Two dolphins on the Two of Cups. Three lizards on the Three. Four of Cups. Five. Cute little puffer fish. Six. I'd seen one or two walkthroughs of this before I bought this deck, and you may want to pause these images to consider how they compare to the RWS standard imagery and whether they read for you in the same way. This one's fun, the Seven of Cups. I love that there's a dog bone as one of the choices in the cups. Eight of Cups with a giraffe walking away. Nine. Like the Aladdin's lamp here. It's like all you might wish for. 10, and we have that rainbow still. Page. Knight of Cups. Queen. And King. We've got a seal and a polar bear. Ace of Swords. Two. Three. This is a card that usually makes people very unhappy, but I can't help but find a little relief in the expression and representation of this ostrich on this card. Oh, I just realized this is the ostrich's egg being pierced through. So it's her offspring, I guess. Which makes it a sad card, but there's just something about her expression, or maybe it's the wardrobe that brings amusement to the card. Keep it from getting too sad. And we have a sloth sleeping on the Four of Swords. I like that the font is clearly legible on all the cards. It's a nice touch. And she did a really nice job of choosing the spot color in each of the cards to really make them pop. This one I'm not sure I get, the Ten of Swords with the bee and the flower. This is usually one where we have a dying figure. I'm not sure what to make of this one. Most of them translate really well for me, but this one I have a little, this gives me pause. Page of Swords. Knight. Queen. King. Also, I find not only are the faces expressive, but the poses and the bodies are very expressive. Ace of Pentacles. So here we don't have a figure. We do have, it looks like a bear's paw. I'm not sure. I'll have to look that up and see which animal it is. Four of Pentacles. Five. This one's interesting to me. Whereas we usually have poor figures outside a church in the snow, here we've got one. It's a panda bear being kept away from the bamboo on the other side of the window of this structure. Six of Pentacles. Seven. Eight of Pentacles. I wonder if this might be a good deck. I don't like to denigrate cards by referring to them as children's decks, but this might be a good starter deck to teach a child how to read tarot. I think the animals and the color would really appeal to children, and I seem to be drawn to decks that have that graphic feel that appeals to childlike wonder. Ten of Pentacles. It's a whole crocodile family or alligator family. I'm not sure which. Page of Pentacles. I love this one. This bush, I think it's a bush baby. This is probably my favorite card in the deck. I don't know. I have a thing for large, expressive eyes, and I've always found these creatures kind of peculiar anyway, but there's something about the colors and the whole layout of this card I really like. Knight. Queen. And King. It's a thick deck, but not unusually thick. It seems to shuffle fairly well. Has a fairly nice feel to it. Let's pull a random card and see what the book has to say about it. Card of the day. Card of the day. What do we need to know today? Four of Wands. Heads. Celebration, significant events or milestones, parties and gatherings, prosperity, commemoration, a whole colony of like-minded souls, invitations on the way. Tails. The need to celebrate with others, a nudge to be fully present for others. Happiness, letting go and allowing peace in disharmony, a reminder to allow joy into your heart. Enjoy these high spirits. You've come so far, and the Four of Wands has you dancing your way over to celebrate an important milestone with others. Can you feel the disco dancing vibes in your feet yet? It's time to let loose and give yourself permission to really make this moment a memorable one. Get into it, no matter what the occasion. When people come together in like-hearted communities to support one another's lives, we experience moments of true presence. Choose this as an important part of your reality. Breathe in the elation that is being offered to you, as you deeply deserve this moment of laughter and peace. Allow it to remind you of what it was like to be a hatchling, held and swaddled, smiling, safe, and carefree. Say yes to invitations, or send some, and then waddle and flap your way into your own exuberant celebration of life. Penguin conversations. That's what this, I guess this is a penguin. I celebrate my life all the time. How are you showing up to celebrate your wins, lessons learned, your loves and friendships? Social interaction, community, and togetherness are the best parts of life. Let's wiggle home and enjoy these gifts of time spent with those around us. What a nice card, and what a nice description. So you can see there's definitely an element of humor in this deck, a sense of humor, and that is so sorely needed in these times when most decks are on the dark side, or, very sober and serious, and sometimes even depressing. This is a joyous deck. So this is the Tarot of Curious Creatures from Chris Ann, published by Hay House. Let me know if you get this, what you think. And if you're a collector of Chris Ann, I'm curious as to what you think of this in comparison to her other offerings. Until next time, stay well, be well. See y'all soon.